Hello, my wonderful friends. Magus with you, and a beautiful day in Asha. And I was just looking at one of my apple trees, and I was having memories of last year of getting apples from there and shaking the tree and the apples falling and the deer coming around me and eating the apples. And I even found a little baby bear cub one time up in the tree, and just having these good memories. And then I started remembering when I was a kid, one of my favorite stories of Johnny Appleseed. And if you're not familiar with it, he was a missionary, and he'd go around spreading the word of God and also planting apple trees. And I thought, what a amazing thing. And even as a kid, I loved that story, just him being out in nature, and he's doing something good. He's spreading a good message. He's planting apple trees, which provide food. And I liked him as a person. I remember one story, it was a cold evening and he had a fire, but he noticed that some of the bugs were flying into the fire and dying. And he put out the fire because he didn't want his comfort to cost the lives of another being. And I thought that was so beautiful. And I started thinking about the effect that our life has even after we've left time, space, and what we've left behind us, and what are we going to pass on to our children, and are we leaving kindness and words of wisdom? And so it's so important that we realize how important we are. We make a difference, and so we don't want to waste our life energy. You know, everyone leaves a mark, and so let's be a benefit with what we leave behind and be a part of that ever expanding good. Jesus himself said that greater works will you do, and so he wants us to do greater works than he did, and to build upon what he did, and to grow and to evolve into this beautiful Asha, heaven on earth. And I started also thinking about when I started studying psychology, and Freud and Jung, and growing and learning from, and building off what they did. And I remember, as I think back about it, I say this regretfully, but I remember one time talking to some people, and I said Freud was an idiot, and I was almost trying to kind of brag and build up my ego that I know more than he knows, and how I could disprove a lot of the things he was saying. But then I kind of caught myself and realized that's wrong, because he laid a foundation that a lot of what we teach today in psychology is built off of, and so we're building off of it and growing off of each other. And I shouldn't have been putting him down to try to build myself up, and I regret doing that. But it's something that we can learn from, and not put down the ones that came before us, but be thankful for what they contributed, and then build off of it and bless them, and then hope that one day, like Jesus said, greater works will you do, that my kids will do greater works than I did, and the generations to come will look back and think, wow, these guys, Magus really missed it here. He could have done so much better. As a matter of fact, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking of some of my videos, like Ahura Mazda is. I love that video. It was passionate. It really does show a part of my personality, but I do think when I watch that generations to come will look back and think, oh, Magus missed it there. He should have stayed in the higher dimensions and realms, but then I hope they'll be able to appreciate my passion for the times that we were in and the fight that I had, and so it's just respect for each other and building off of it, and always reaching for that highest good, the higher idea, to get that higher evolution. And then another thing that popped to my mind as I'm putting all these messages together is that how that we take on the collective consciousness and the spirits of whatever we involve ourselves in. And you see it in the world around you. Like when I hang out with the surfers, there's just an attitude, and there's a spirit of it, and there's a collective consciousness that takes place. And you'll see them even talking like each other and acting like each other, and there's a community, if you will. And you see it in all the different realms, be it good or bad. And so it's so important what we choose to involve ourselves in, because we're joining energy with that. And it's so important who we hang around. Is it going to be for our highest good and the genes that we want to pass on to our children? Your work today affects the future, good or bad. And so I'm going to ask you today, what is your desire? What are your dreams? Who do you want to be? What do you want to do in this life? What do you want to pass on? What do you want to leave behind? And then don't let worry or concern that you don't have what it takes stop you. You have all you need. Have faith in yourself and the God who made you. Set your intention and then take the steps that need to be done wholeheartedly. And then be patient, be persistent, and never, never, never quit. Every successful person I know, that's their main thing that they want to pass on and try to get into you, that you never quit. If you don't quit, eventually you will succeed. And my friends, I know you. I know you are great and are going to do great things. And you will leave your unique and beautiful mark on this world. And I love you. I love you. I love you.